Hey, this is Dr. Diane from the Shenandoah Valley Discovery Museum, and today we're going to talk about our sense of touch. So, what do we touch with? Do we touch with our eyes? Do we touch with our nose? It's kind of a trick question. Our skin is our largest sense organ, and the skin is covering millions and millions of nerves. And between the skin and the nerves, they act as a superhighway for everything that we touch and feel, sending messages to the brain. The brain makes sense of them like a giant supercomputer, sends the messages back out to the skin. That's how we know if something is hot or cold, whether it's sharp, lumpy, smooth, all of those wonderful feelings. So today, I've got two different science experiments we can do to be able to experiment with our sense of touch. So for the first one, I happen to have a touch box. If you do not, you can use anything. A tote bag will work. Just as long as you can't see into it, that's the key. You're gonna fill your box or your bag with lots and lots of different random objects you find around the house. And then you're gonna take turns trying to just close your eyes and describe things to the other person and see if you can describe it and they can tell what it is without either of you looking at it. So I'm gonna reach in, I'm closing my eyes. I'm gonna put it behind my back so you don't see it either. And in my hand, I have something that is soft, it's stretchy, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 long pieces coming off of it. Oh, there's a spot where I can slide my hand into it. And when I slide my hand into it, I can get all of my fingers inside. What do you guys think it is? You're right. It's a mitten. So there are all kinds of things in here. Let's see, I'll pull out a couple others so you can see the kinds of random stuff I had put in. So I put in things like a clothespin. We have a bean bag. We have a headband. So you can put whatever you want in. If you have a dinosaur, throw your dinosaur in there. But take turns playing that game and seeing how many things you can find in your box. So the second activity is we're gonna make a sensory bin. And all you need is just a pan. It can be a baking pan, whatever you want it to be. I'm gonna use beans for mine because I happen to have dried beans. You could use rice, you can use whatever works for you. I find beans and rice work best. And just pour them into your pan. All right. For our sensory bin, I used beans. You could certainly use rice or anything else you happen to have around the house. I used just a simple pan, and then I used random stuff I happen to have around the house. I had blocks, I had balls, I had some frogs, I had some cars. You might have something totally different. This is a great opportunity to look at shapes and look at colors as well as what you feel when you touch things. So it's a good way to use all of your senses as you're playing. Defined. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take turns drawing things out. So for example, I happen to have a yellow triangle. So I'm gonna put that here and I'm gonna count how many yellow triangles can I find in my bin. So right now I see 1. So I'm using my sense of sight, but I'm also using my sense of touch. 2. Feel around. And nothing else feels like a triangle, so I have just 2 of those. And then I'm gonna write them on my graph. And I happen to have a graph right here. You can get it on our blog and you'll be able to set it up so that if you don't have the things that I put on mine, you can change it and add your things. So you'll be able to graph them and see how many of each you've got in your bin. And you can take turns if you wanna do it for somebody and you pick all the things that go in the bin first, then you can take those out and switch them and put something totally different in. So have fun playing with your sense of touch and let us know what you think.